Hi,
Hi.
so your client is a German manufacturer of disguises for events and parties called Custom Co.
Mhm.
Custom Co makes the design, manufactures, and sells the disguises to retailers through five main big distribution centers, which are located around Germany in different cities. So recently, the largest retailer, so the largest customer we have, they complain that Custom Co has too high prices, like prices that are just too high. And after some internal analysis, the client Custom Co realized that the main driver for the higher costs is distribution costs,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yes.
So they asked you to try to figure out how to reduce those costs.
Okay. Thanks. I think I got the essentials.
Mhm.
So our client manufactures disguises and distributes them to retailers in 5 German cities.
Correct.
And one of them has complained about high prices, and our client thinks that the high prices are driven by high distribution costs. Correct?
Correct, yeah.
So is the goal to reduce distribution costs only, or also to find other solutions to reduce high prices and thus satisfy our customer?
Well, that's a good question. Actually, we have already researched internally and we came to the conclusion that the main cost driver is at the moment distribution. So please concentrate on those.
Great. I'd like to have a minute now to think about the structure.
Sure.
Okay, so I've come up with 3 steps to
Mhm.
approach this. First, I'd like to understand our current distribution. So, where our production facilities and where our distribution centers are, what our products are, and how the current process of distribution is structured.
Okay.
And a second step, I want to evaluate other strategies to distribute our products in a more qualitative manner.
Mhm.
And as a third and last step, I want to apply numbers to our strategies and, of course, pick the best option.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so to answer your first question, we have one production facility, so one factory in the south of Germany, and the 5 big distribution centers are pretty much evenly spread across Germany.
And how do our products get there?
So the client hires a special delivery service, like it's called DHL. It's similar to Federal Express or all those.
Okay. And are we involved in any of the actual distribution processes?
Not really, no. Outsource.
So the costs of DHL are too high.
Well, we don't really know because the costs of DHL are similar to other competitors, so other delivery services.
Okay.
So they have pretty much the same costs.
That's interesting. So what's the cost of a typical delivery?
Well, it depends.
Okay, why? On what?
So what do you think? Why should they vary the cost of the delivery?
Okay, well, the rights might have different reasons. So if I think about it, what are drivers of cost? So it could be different sizes of the delivery. It could be different costs because of different distances, or just a different speed of delivery. So if it takes just 1 day or up to 1 week. Do we know which one?
Well, you're right. The main reason why the prices of the costs change is because of the distance between the factory and the distribution center. So let me share with you this table where you can see the costs of here.
Okay.
So the costs of the box shipped.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I see it. That is a high driver. Costs can more than double depending on the distribution center.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I'm confused. What is a seasonal and a normal month?
Well, we have two different products, right? Seasonal products are produced and delivery for 4 months per year, and we have 600 boxes each month.
Okay.
So seasonal products are, imagine there's like Carnival in Cologne, which is very typical, or Oktoberfest in Munich. Those are like events that happen at specific times of the year, right? And for the rest of the year, we call them the normal months. There's only 150 boxes of disguises to be delivered. Okay?
Okay, is there any other difference between the products?
No, let's just assume it's only disguises. One product only.
Okay, great. Well then, I think I know the basics of our delivery system. And let me start with my second step and have a look at other ways to deliver our products.
Okay.
And let me just recap that really quick. Think about it.
Take your time.
Okay. Well, I think I found 3 options. So the first one is do the delivery ourselves. So buy trucks and employ drivers and drive them to the centers ourselves. The second option, we keep it outsourced, and there are 2 options. So either we could stay with DHL and just do nothing, or we could have a look at other competitors, such as FedEx. And the third point is no delivery at all. So that means our retailers are responsible themselves to pick up the boxes from our factory, and yeah.
Okay, I like your 3 points. So go ahead.
Yeah, but I would exclude the last point.
Okay.
We don't have any cost in this option, but our retailers have huge costs, so no savings for them. And additionally, it's not really common to pick up things you bought, and probably will lead to low customer satisfaction. Would you agree?
Well, if I was a retailer, I wouldn't like to go to the southern Germany to get my product. So yeah, I agree. Forget this one.
Okay. So then the second point I mentioned, you said that the DHL's competitors have the same costs, so there's no way that we can find a cheaper service provider here.
Yeah, that's true. So assume we have outsourcing as a possibility. So doesn't matter what service we use because they're pretty much all the same. They have pretty much all the same price.
Okay.
Right.
Good. Then I think I want to calculate the costs of our the current system and compare them to the first solution. And costs of buying a truck and yearly maintenance costs. Do we have data on that?
Go on. We can figure out costs of that. Yeah.
Okay, great. So first, I'd like to calculate the yearly amount of boxes we ship, and secondly, as all centers receive the same amount, I will calculate an average price and multiply that with the number of boxes. So if I have a look at the table, we have 8 normal months with 150 boxes per month, and well, if we multiply that, we have 1,200 boxes. And for seasonal months, with 600 boxes, if we multiply that, we have 2,400 boxes. So what we can see here, overall, this means every year 3,600 boxes are shipped to each center.
So 1,200 plus 2,400, okay?
Exactly, and of course, then we do this for 5 centers, and we get 18,000 boxes per year.
Okay.
So that's the first point, and the second point, the average price, and if we just add them up, we get 50, and we have to divide that by 5 distribution centers to get the average, and this is 10 per box.
Okay, wait, you're going fast, so just let me understand what you did. So the total price, you added up the costs per box, price per box shipped for each center, and then you divided by 5 to get an average.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's 10.
Exactly, and so
makes sense.
We have 18,000 boxes per year and $10 per box. So that gives us a yearly distribution cost of $180,000.
Okay.
And, this is our benchmark we have to compare our insourcing solution with. And so, for that I need some more information. So, do we, for example, know how much a truck costs?
Do you know any other ways than buying a truck to do it ourselves internally?
Okay.
Think of options.
Yeah, I mean, instead of buying one, we could rent one. Do you mean that?
What other options rather than renting a truck or trucks to do the delivery ourselves do you think there are? Take your time to think.
I mean, for things, for example, ships or trains, or I also assume for trucks, we have the possibility to charter just part of it and space.
True, correct, exactly. So in this case, the good thing is that we just charter a truck. We have a lot of space in a truck we can fill, and we don't need to worry about drivers or hiring drivers and paying drivers. So the chartering company does all of that for us.
Okay, yeah. So we probably have to pay some kind of fixed amount per delivery, and yeah, that sounds good.
Correct.
Do you have information on how much?
So one truck that can carry up to 650 boxes costs $4,000 or euros in this case, plus the delivery, plus per delivery plus the fuel. So 4,000 euros per delivery plus the fuel it consumes. If the truck is used for carrying only 300 boxes, up to 300 boxes, the chartering company charges only 50% of the price.
Okay.
So 2,000 euros plus 50% of the fuel consumed. This is because they can use the extra space that we do not use in the truck for other companies. So they sell that out
to
other companies. Okay.
Okay. If I have a look at the capacities you mentioned, I can conclude from that that we can use the 4,000 euro trucks for our seasonal deliveries.
That's correct.
The 600 boxes, and of course for the smaller amounts, the 150 boxes, with our normal deliveries, we can also use the cheaper, smaller trucks. And
True.
What we need to know for this is also the fuel costs.
Sure. Let me share with you the fuel costs. So now you see it.
Okay, that's good. I mean, as well as with the prices, we can go ahead here and calculate an average fuel cost. So I just add them all up and divide them by 5. So let me just do that real quick. And what I get out of this is an average price of an average fuel cost of 1,800.
Okay.
Okay, so
makes sense.
Yeah, now we can just look at how much deliveries we need and how much one delivery costs. What I'd like to know is, can I assume that we can exclude combined deliveries? Well, for example, if I have a look at this, we could put 300 boxes in a small truck and deliver for a center for 2 months in advance, or we could drive from center A and then to center B and then back in one single trip.
Correct. So that's a good idea, actually. To simplify the problem, let's assume that we need to do one delivery per month per center, not more, not less, and we cannot use the same truck to deliver from the factory to center A, then to center B, then to center C. We have to go from the factory to the center. Let's assume the centers are all spread, so it's better to go to the factory and then to the center.
Okay, great.
All right.
Okay, now to calculate the charter costs, we have to differentiate between the two product lines as they're different.
So you mean two lines? One is the normal non-seasonal and seasonal.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
And for the normal line, we have the cost of delivery plus fuel. So this is the 4,000 plus the average fuel cost is 1,800. So overall, it is 5,800. And for this, the cheaper option, we only have to pay 50%. So this is 2,900.
Because we have just 150 boxes, right?
Exactly. So we don't need the big trucks.
Okay.
And, as we have 8 months, we have 8 deliveries per year and per center. And of course, we have 5 centers. So overall, we have 8 times 5 centers, and this is 40. So now with the number of deliveries and the cost per delivery, we can calculate the overall cost. And this is 40 times 2,100 and gives us 116,000.
Okay.
Now we have to do exactly the same thing for the seasonal products. So cost per delivery is, again, as I already calculated, 5,800. And we only have 4 deliveries per month and per center. So overall,
because there are 4 deliveries, there are 4 months which are not seasonal. Okay, it's not 4 deliveries per month. You mean it's 1 delivery per month, of course, but there are 4 months which are seasonal.
Exactly. So per year,
so
it's 4 times exactly.
Okay,
And
that's important. Yeah, and the same for the 8 deliveries, because there are 8 months that are normal or non-seasonal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, again, we have 5 centers. So the 4 deliveries times 5 centers gives us 20 deliveries. And well, now again, the delivery costs, the overall costs, which is the 20 deliveries times the cost per delivery of 5,800, and 20 times 5,800 gives us again $116,000. So it's interesting because as well as for the normal as well as the seasonal products, it is 160,000. So overall, we have 232,000 euros costs.
If we had to charter, if we would charter, okay.
And I think it is quite obvious that this option seems to be more expensive than what we currently have.
How many euros, or how much is our current costs?
We calculated that before. It was the 180,000.
Okay.
Of course, this is much less than 232,000 here.
Okay. Well, so to help you out, yes, you're right. So overall, if we had to choose only to insource or to do that ourselves, it would be more expensive than the current outsourcing. But remember that there are 5 different distribution centers, and each of them has a different cost. What you did was the average. So of course, if you do the average, if you do the same solution for all centers, the average is a good way of comparing the prices. But let me share with you now a table of so the client did some research on this idea that you just shared. And you can see the comparison of doing it in-house or doing it ourselves by chartering trucks, leasing trucks, and the current cost that we have using delivery services like DHL. So you see that changes.
I see. This is interesting. I mean, I could have calculated that for every month on this basis. So if you really split that into every month, you can see that usually the chartering costs are more expensive than our DHL delivery. However, for the last 3 delivery centers here, chartering becomes the cheaper option. So for C, D, and E, and the seasonal products.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just calculate that. If we, I mean, an option would be to do it as we did for all the others except CD&E, where we charter trucks. And if we do that, well, for C we save 200, for D 1,000, and for E 1,800 per trip. So overall we save 3,000. And well, of course, again, this is 4 times a year instead of 4 months, where we provide the seasonal products, and 3,000 times 4 gives us $12,000 saving per years.
Okay, that's for that's only for the seasonal months or for all months?
Well, that is of course for the seasonal months only, because for the other, for the normal months, it is not cheaper to use chartering. So.
Okay, interesting. So the total reduction of costs would be 12,000 then, and you would only use the in-source in-house solution, so leasing trucks for CD&E. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, for all the others, I wouldn't, as it's more expensive.
Okay, good. So can you just do a closing of the case? What would you suggest the client to do?
Just give me a minute.
Sure.
So, well, from the information I've gathered so far, I would recommend a parallel distribution strategy of both DHL and chartering to save distribution costs. This saves us $12,000, which is a reduction of about 7% compared to our current costs of $180,000. And well, for all normal boxes and part of the seasonal boxes, we use our current system. However, for seasonal delivery to C, D, and E, we charter trucks, as this is the cheaper option. And well, although this might cost additional administrative effort, I think the 3 charterings per month can easily be dealt with by the current staff responsible for logistics. So, well, occurring opportunity costs are marginal and well will be exceeded by the savings.
Great, good job.